Okay, Kinders, today you're gonna have this piece of paper that's like a landscape orientation. It's got very, very long sides and then short sides going vertical, long sides going horizontal. So we're going to take this piece of paper and we're gonna fold it in half. So we're gonna take this side and we're just gonna lift it up. That shorter side is gonna touch this other shorter side. And then fold and press in the middle, okay? When you open it up, this is showing you where the middle of our paper is. And it's important because when we make our butterfly today, and here's our butterfly, we need this to be in the middle, our body to be in the middle. So we have the same amount of space on this side as we do on this side, so our butterfly can be the same. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my marker and I'm just gonna use a black marker. If you don't have a black marker, you can use a black colored pencil or a black crayon. It's up to you. So I'm going to, on that fold line where it's folded, I'm gonna make a circle and fill it in. And then underneath it, I'm gonna make another circle. And I'm gonna make them touch. And then on the very bottom, right underneath that, I'm gonna stretch out kind of an ellipse or a stretched out circle. And I'm gonna fill it in with my marker. And that's gonna be my butterfly body. I'm gonna put a little dot above the head and another dot above the head. And I can make a straight line down if I want an antenna like that, or I can go up and down, almost like it's a upside down letter J. So I'm just gonna go up and curve it around and put it back onto the head. So those are my two antennae. Then this top part is your head, middle part is your thorax, this part is your abdomen. Those are the three parts of an insect. So we're going to take this middle part, this thorax, because that's the balance center for the bugs. We're going to put our wings there. So we're gonna stretch it out. Now watch first and then do. So I'm gonna take my line, I'm gonna go up to the corner, I'm gonna go down the side, and I'm gonna pull it back into my thorax. So do it with me. Start on the thorax, in the middle circle, go out to the corner, go down the side, and then bring it back into the middle. All right, so now if it's the same on this side, we have to put it over here. So we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna start in the thorax, but this time I'm gonna go to this corner. So I'm gonna watch first. I'm gonna go up to the corner, down the side, back in. Do it with me. Up to the corner, down the side, back in. Good job. Now we're gonna go and put the second wing, because butterflies actually have two sets of wings. They have a top and a bottom. So we're gonna do the bottom wing. So I'm gonna go back on this side and I'm gonna go to the thorax. And this time I'm gonna go down diagonally. When I see the corner, I'm gonna turn around and head back up to the thorax. Okay, so do it with me. Diagonal to the corner, turn it around, and back up. Good job. Now we have to do it over here. So I'm gonna go diagonally to the corner, wrap it around, turn it around, and bring it back up to the thorax. And now we're finished. Next, we're going to add some shapes to it. So you can pick whichever shapes you want. I have a few shapes here that you can see are around me. I have a rectangle, I have a square, an oval or ellipse, I have a triangle, a circle, you have a parallelogram, a heart, and a star. So those are all different kinds of shapes that I have that I can use, or I can use more organic shapes, like maybe just kind of like a line that moves on its own. It's not a named shape, it has its own kind of free form shape. So I'll kind of show you what an organic shape is right here. So if I want to do a organic shape, maybe I do one that's kind of like that. So I can do it But if you use those organic shapes, you have to do the same thing on both sides. So you have to remember how you do it. You did it. So I've got my organic shapes there. If you want to use those, I kind of like using these shapes because they're fun. Maybe I come over here and I use a heart. I really want to fill in my white spaces with shapes. And so as I'm filling them in, you can fill in yours. You can look at some shapes and you can see, what shapes do I want in my butterfly? And really try not to just kind of stop at maybe one shape in there. Try to really fill it with as many shapes as you can. So maybe I can do another shape right here. Kind of goes like this, almost like a half moon. So I'm just gonna fill in my shapes, and once I've filled in my shapes, I'm gonna fill in my shapes with color. So I've got my color on this side, I'm gonna add the same color on this side. Because what is symmetrical means it's the same on both sides. Same in size and shape and in color. So we're gonna kind of make them the same. Okay, I finished with my top wing. Now I'm gonna go on to my bottom wing. Again, I can pick shapes that I want. Maybe this time I want a big circle here and a big circle here. Maybe I want to have some little triangles here, kind of stretched out triangles. Maybe I do a blue one on this side. And I could probably take my pink and add some little smaller circles around here just to fill in my white space. And then now I go in and fill in my colors. Now that I know what shapes I have, I go back and look at the colors and I fill it in. Now that I have all that finished, I'm going to start filling in my white spaces with black. So I'm gonna just look and make sure that I don't have a big white space, because if I have a big white space, I could put a shape in that big white space. So if I have all my white spaces filled in, now I can come with my black and I'm just gonna go to my white spaces and fill it in. I have to kind of go slow and steady. I'm not rushing this, I'm going slow. I'm taking my time. And I'm filling in any of those white spaces. Sometimes I like to outline my shape with the black so I can know when to stop. Just gives me a little reminder. Oh, Miss Reichling, you've got to stop. Okay, so now that I've got my white spaces filled in, I'm gonna go back with my black now. I'm still gonna keep my black in my hand. I'm gonna show you 2 ways you can do this. So watch both ways and then pick which way you wanna do it, because you can choose which way you wanna do it. So right down here, I might draw, I kinda like to draw a little line and separate my space. And then in each space, I'm just gonna draw some lines from one line to the other. So this one would have these lines that go up. Now I don't wanna draw it all the way through. I don't wanna see that, because then that just looks like a checkerboard or a grid, and we kind of want it to look more like sewing. And remember how I said, you know, with the embroidery, it goes up and down, up, that needle goes up and then down and then up and then down, up and down. So we're kind of doing that same thing. We're going up and down, up and down, up and down, kind of like we're sewing on here. But you're going to add those spaces. And then on things like this, you can still divide it and then add your up and down lines in one side and then add up and down lines on the other side if you want to. Now that's one way you can do it. I'm going to show you the second way. Second way, you'd still divide it, but this time instead of just doing up and down lines, you can do lines that look like this, like upside down U's connected. So I would go in here and I'd go upside down, 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 and I'd go from one black line to the other. And I'm just going to keep doing this. And I'm going to stretch it out in that. So you can kind of see it. There's a little bit of a difference between the two, but you can pick which one you like best. It's really up to you. Up here, I can do the same thing. I can kind of just break it apart. I can make my lines like so. And then I can bring, like on this one, because it's twist, I can even do a twisting line. And then a line twist this way. And then a line that twists this way, if I want to. And go the way my shape goes. So I'm just going to do that over my color to all of them. And so there's my butterfly. All I have left to do is cut it out. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut around the edges. I want to cut carefully so I won't cut off a wing. So just go slow. Be careful. Now I'm going to show you a little trick with these antennas because we don't have long ones. So I'm just going to go around like this and not worry about cutting them off because those are just too small. And now my little butterfly is ready to fly. Cassie's all cut out. So there he is. So if you wanted to make several of these, you could do several of them, put them on the wall and let them all hang out together. Okay, so I hope you had fun making these embroidery butterflies.